Well,
It
would
was,
you take any notes from your Hall of Fame game the other night on how they were doing the kickoff?
Yeah, it was pretty much what I expected. I don't anticipate a lot of I would say variety and scheme showing up in these games. A lot of young guys playing in that game as well. So yeah, it was pretty much what I expected.
but do you see the possibility of a lot of exotic creativity?
Yeah, and I think that I think teams are or I think coaches teams are gonna save a lot of their schematics for the regular season. I don't think you'll see a lot of variety in the preseason games.
From you too?
I don't think I'll show too much.
Is there a bit of risk there to kind of debut something in the regular season if you haven't maybe gotten the live reps against another team?
Yeah, and I think also like it depends on your personnel, who's playing in the game. I think that you can get into using maybe some more like a little bit more complex in the scheme if you have guys that can execute it, if that makes sense.
You're going a lot more creative and the possibilities are sort of endless. You like lay awake at night and think, maybe we should try this.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought has gone into it, a lot of studying. We've gained a lot of information from the first week and a half of camp through the drill work that we've done with the timing and the spacing. So just trying to, I guess you would say, apply it to the next practice. Like yesterday, there were some things that I saw like in our practice period that I didn't love. So going to try a few different things today. So, and especially, and it helps whenever we're working in pads to really get the feel for it. So we'll be in pads today. We'll be working it today.
You're still auditioning 8 to 10 returners, and you don't even have Hines in there yet.
Yeah.
So, well, do you want to whittle that down, or could you go through the season with a rotation of 8?
We just want to have depth. We want everyone to understand the play and how it's ran. In the event that we would have to use one of the down the line guys that aren't at the top, have to get in there. We want those guys to have experience. So we're just trying to train as many guys as possible at this point.
Would you settle on 2? Would you settle on 2 when the season opens?
Yeah, I mean, I would think, yeah.
Have you seen anybody sort of embrace this opportunity? I hear you yell Sam Kamara's name a lot. Guys like, is there anybody that stood out with this kickoff opportunity?
I think the best thing with our team right now with this play is that everyone is all hands on deck. Everyone is willing to do anything asked, and that's all you can ask for. Is our team has bought into this unique change of a play that is going to be able to impact games. That, like, to me, that's the biggest thing for us. Is our guys we want to be a really good football team. So if we're going to do that, like, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes for us to win. So if that means playing on another special teams unit or both, then that's what it's going to have to take. And I think to your question, yes, everyone has.
With Dustin, not trying to kick it out of the end zone every time anymore, what kind of adjustment is that for him to have to really place those kickoffs?
Yeah, I think that we're working out of some different approaches with him, whether it be a 3-step, a 5-step, just different ball placement. Yeah, so we're working a bunch of different things. There wasn't a lot of times where I asked him to bang touchbacks last year, but it is hard to kick in our stadium. There's a lot of wind that factors into it, so. Yeah, the placement is definitely going to be a big point of emphasis for us.
Just on Hardy.
Okay. When you guys talked, I guess, about with the new rule, like possibly playing players in the preseason games that maybe wouldn't play in years past, just to get them reps in that you guys are thinking you're going to use? Yeah,
I think that we're trying to gain as much information in our practice settings. So if we're not playing certain guys, or certain guys are being stressed too much on defense that wouldn't normally play as much, don't have to play as many reps for me. Just trying to find that balance and go from there. But yeah, you'll probably see some different people that haven't really normally played as much in the preseason, especially as we move along.
Hey, Justin Hardy came here as a 2-time special teams captain.
Yeah.
What have you made of him here in your scheme?
So I've coached against him for a number of years. Tough kid, hard worker. I would say he is super competitive. I don't know if anybody watched the one-on-one drills we did back at the Greenbrier, but he does not like to lose. He's been great for our meeting rooms. He's vocal, good communicator. I'm really excited to have him.
Bubba, when you go with a couple of linemen on the kickoff, right, the blocking, the return unit, we had a couple of big bodies out there. Like, what do you get the balance benefit of? Okay, I got this bigger guy, maybe it can block like a James Hudson versus, we're in a little bit of space. It might be tougher for
sure. Yeah, and some of the things we're doing, we have guys out there to give a look. Maybe not necessarily that they're going to be a part of that unit, things like that. But yeah, whenever you're trying to, I guess you put pieces to the puzzle, you're always taking into account the skill set of that player, right? Ideally, you don't want to have a guy that's not good in space, but unfortunately for them, the kicking game is about playing in space. A lot of it is. So, yeah, we're just trying to figure out who to play and where and who can play the techniques. So.
Going back to this for a second.
Yeah.
Kicking in the stadium because of the challenges that presents. How does he prepare for the kickoff role with those, I guess with all the elements and everything? Yeah,
I feel like it's pretty windy here in practice too, especially with all the things that have gone down and the winds coming through. So he'll be able to adjust. Those guys, I hope he can adjust.
At the Greenbrier, Kevin said you and he discussed the possibility of a kickoff specialist, and you decided not to go ahead with it. So explain why.
Each roster spot's pretty valuable. Look, we have a professional kicker that's here to kick, so I don't know if we need to roster two of them.
Training a defensive player.
Oh, you're saying training a defensive player?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, for me, obviously, if kickers kick, right? Kickers kick, and position players play their position. There's a lot more stress and strain on your body that kicking presents than not, to me. Like last year, we end up playing it. Dustin gets nicked up. Corey comes in. He doesn't normally kick off. That's what his quad tightened up. So you don't want to if you don't kick all the time, it's a foreign movement to your body that you're not used to. It'd be like going out, say you haven't bench pressed, right? And if you haven't bench pressed in 5 years and you got bench press, you're gonna be sore.
But that's what, if you train them to do it, they get.
But they're not. Yeah. And in the same sense, they're not, at the end of the day, they're not professional kickers. That'd be my biggest argument, I think. And I wouldn't want to risk, D'Anthony Bell kicking off because I need him. I need him to play for me. That's my personal. And yeah, I'll probably just stop talking.
How much do you like the experiential learning rooms, and how much do you wish, as a player, you would have had something like that where you could stand up and learn one?
Yeah, Jimmy and Dee did an incredible job with our complex. Our guys are very fortunate for the resources they have to use and to prepare with. It's a great It's a great way to teach and a great way to learn. So, yeah, I would love to have had something like that.
When you retired not long ago, is it vastly different now as for a player with all the technology, everything else that comes with it?
It's a lot different. Our guys are being every movement they make, they're being tracked at practice. Yardage, speeds, and recovery. We didn't have any of that. It was just go play. 2-a-days, full pads. And then I'll joke with our players. When we actually used to play real football, we actually practiced twice a day in full pads. I couldn't even imagine having 2 full padded practices in one day now. Guys would look at you like you're crazy.
Any idea when
you think you were tired?
Say that again?
mean, since it was so normal, do you think this is job?
Yeah, I would say this. Like I'm a firm believer in like hard work, and your body like builds a callus when you work and you practice hard and long. I think that there's something to be said about how you practice, and I think that obviously you're building in your conditioning as well. Like you don't just want to get out of practice healthy. You're trying to get ready for the season. You're trying to put your team in a position to play at a high level late in the game. You know, that's how the best teams are the teams that can play the hardest, the longest, and typically those are the teams that practice the hardest. Not necessarily the longest, but practice the hardest.
Any idea?
A couple more.
I heard in particular likes the golf simulator you guys been using now. What can those different things, not super football oriented, do for your group?
Schwartz was giving our specialist a hard time about being in the golf simulator. Yeah, I think all those things are great. I think that was a great way. The Greenbrier was great for us to be like around each other and just to be almost like forced to hang out with one another. A number of guys said they have never spent that much time with their teammates. I thought that was obviously that's a reason why we like going down there. So, and I think that things like that around the building when there's time off are good to have.
Any idea when Hines will help you out?
I hope soon. He's working hard and he's looked good in everything I've seen him do. So, hopefully it's not too much longer.
Have you liked how
Last
he's
one.
Worked with the returners though? Like at the Greenberg, he was on the field coaching or like kind of giving tips. How did you like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's been really with me since 2018. Very good communicator. He started out, he didn't get it right away, so there was a big learning curve. He had a couple muffs early in the preseason his rookie year. He kept working at it, had an opportunity middle of his rookie season, and then came along and ended up earning that job and had a lot of production for us. But really good hard worker that is just trying to help those guys, and educate them on the position really.
Thanks. All right.